What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Okay, so this morning, President Trump has tweeted out that America will designate AntiFa as a terrorist organization, which is very good. It's about time. It should have been done a long time ago. Now, this decision came after the fact that there's now more than enough evidence to suggest that most of the rioting taking place in this country is being caused by members of AntiFa or sympathizers of AntiFa. Let's face it, it seems like most of the rioters throughout all of these cities in America happen to be white. I spoke to numerous people on that matter, and a lot of them agreed with me. A lot of them told me, I have someone who's a first-grade detective with the NYPD who's extremely close to me. I won't tell you who they are, but they're very, very, very close to me and have been my entire life. Said that it's all white people in Lower Manhattan doing all of the fighting with the cops and causing the most trouble. I spoke to other police officers. I was at a protest yesterday at Prospect Park, Brooklyn. I also went down to the Barclays Center, even further closer to Manhattan Bridge, down to Hillary Street. I didn't get to see much action because we got there late. We did see a lot of damaged windows, damaged cars, damaged police cars, cops pushing people away. Not any real scuffling going on. That's because all the scuffling already happened by the time we got there. I've watched numerous videos from people being posted across the country, seeing multiple people sharing information, comments, and pictures and videos, and it appears to be majority of the most violent, the most active rioters happen to be white. A lot of people saying that the agitators in almost all of these cases are 20-something-year-old white guys and white girls that are out there fighting with the cops and throwing the first stone. So they completely hijacked this, the outrage of black people over this situation to use it to push their for their political change, for their little communist revolution. If you ask me, the self-loathing white liberal, he's out there white knighting for you. I'm gonna be the savior of black people. Then you're gonna like hoist me over the crowd and parade me around the street, and everyone's gonna bow down to me. How woke I am. That's the mind state of some of these pathetic schmegalodons. That's exactly what they are, by the way. So they're out there throwing the first stone, breaking windows, fighting with the police, hijacking this movement to push for some kind of political change. It's never going to be a political change that's going to work, that's in everyone's best interest. Of course not. It never is. It is a communist revolution. Let's be real. That's exactly what it is coming from them. If not a communist one, at the very least, a socialist revolution. So it is very good that they're going to be labeled as a terrorist organization. Now, this will do a few things, of course, if they are labeled as such. Anyone who provides, hopefully this is how it goes down, anyone who provides any financial or material support towards this group can be liable, subjected to arrest for providing aid to a terrorist organization. That's good. It's also good that they can now investigate, get warrants. They can investigate anyone who has any kind of communication with these terrorists. And they can start locking people up. They can start following the money, following the paper trail, leads to whoever it leads to, and they can start making arrests on a bigger scale, find out if there's any organizations that are supporting Antifa, find out where the money's coming from, finding out who's supporting them, and they can start issuing, hopefully, arrest warrants for people involved in helping this group. The funny part is if they actually do that, it's going to all lead back to the Democrats. The Democrats in office, yes, if you start investigating Antifa and you follow the paper trail, it's going to go all the way to Congress and to your AOC types and your Bernie Sanders, who's one of the biggest communists. Let's face it, Antifa is a bunch of Bernie bros. These are all his supporters that are out there doing that are throwing the first stone, that are rioting, that are destroying city after city, hijacking black people's movement so they can push their political aim. I know I'm like going off into like some, like a conspiracy nut. I'm just diving maybe deeper into it than I should, but this is exactly how I see it. These are all Bernie Sanders supporters that are actually doing this. But we're not going to come out and say that it's because of the things he says that causes this, the way they do with Trump supporters. They say that every time Trump says something, his supporters go out there and they react to what he said and they do something. It's because of Trump we have all this. This cop killed this man because of Trump. And it's like we had an issue with police way before Trump was even considering running for president. Like during Obama's years, you had multiple situations where, whether the cop is right or wrong, I'm not getting into that, but you had multiple situations where a person died in the hands of police while Obama was in office, and no one said this is Obama's fault, but now all of a sudden this is Trump's fault. Ever since Trump became president, all of a sudden racism, out of nowhere, like they haven't been calling racism for forever at this point in the game. But yeah, we won't push it back and say that this is Bernie Sanders and AOC's fault for the things that they say. No, we won't do that. We're better than that. And plus, to be honest, we never like to hold one person accountable for what their what they're, what people are doing on, what people are doing, they're doing it on their own free will, unless Sanders or, AOC tells them to go out there and riot, then we could say it's, it's their fault. Silly us for having morals, right? So that's one good thing about labeling them as such. You can follow the paper trail. You can start putting two and two together. You can start making arrests. You can start linking people to these groups and to this ideology, and people could, we can hopefully look at certain people that's not in favor with us as terrorists, is exactly what they are, or at least supporters, sympathizers of terrorists. So that's definitely going to put a serious hit on this movement and on that movement and on people who support that movement. Okay, the next thing is, now the Democrats have to decide whether they want to defend Antifa or if they're going to speak out against them once they're labeled a terrorist organization. That's something that they're going to have to decide. They're going to have to figure this one out. Right now, they're usually silent on it when you bring it up to them. We see multiple videos of a journalist or someone in the street say, hey, could you say something about Antifa? And they just keep walking away. Nancy Pelosi just keeps walking away, and won't answer the question, won't say anything. AOC, Elon Omar just keep walking away and won't even answer the question when someone said, hey, how do you feel about what Antifa did the other day on a college campus? And they'll just keep walking away. They won't answer the question. Now, by labeling them a terrorist organization, hopefully there'll be people out there that will push this issue on the Democrats and ask them questions. How do you feel about that? Are you going to defend Antifa, or are you going to, criticize them now that they're labeled as a terrorist organization? So it's very interesting to see what the future lies with them being called that, which, in my opinion, and anyone's opinion who has rational thought, they are domestic terrorists. And this was a very good decision on Trump and on the White House and on William Barr and the Justice Department for labeling them as such, because that's exactly what they are. All right, that's all I have in this video. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell where it's somewhere here. I don't know where it is. And I'll see you guys on the next video. And as always, be safe.